Could it finally be? The Ritz-Carlton card, baby. That's right. Here in the flesh, the most elusive, illustrious, the most exclusive credit card, almost the most exclusive card on the market today, the Ritz-Carlton credit card, here with all of its metal glory. I never thought I would be the type of person to be able to hold the Ritz-Carlton card in my hands, but here we are. And no, I did not go with the standard vanilla way that most people go about getting the Ritz-Carlton card. The fact that you actually cannot even apply directly for the Ritz-Carlton card anymore. It's been discontinued for many, many years. So most people, and really the only way to actually get the Ritz-Carlton card is to just apply for a credit card like the Marriott Bonvoy Boundless, the Bountiful, the Bonvoy Bold, hold it for 12 months, and then request by calling an upgrade to get the Ritz-Carlton card after a year. So long as they approve you for a $10,000 or more credit line, you can, yes, upgrade one of these three cards to the Ritz-Carlton card, and you too can unbox the Ritz-Carlton credit card. And before you guys think it's a fake, before you think it's a scam, it's just a skin, this is legit my card. It has its card number on the back. I don't really want to show that, but it is a legit card. It's metal. I'll prove it. And I want to talk about exactly how I got it, what I'm going to use it for, and exactly how it's going to change my overall kind of credit card acquisition for the future, and how I actually going to use it for the biggest flight of my life coming up very, very soon. Now, for those of you who are unaware, as I'm being a little bit facetious, the way I was able to get the Ritz-Carlton credit card is no shocker. I am the biggest moocher in the world, and I just happen to be what some people might consider a good friend. I don't know if that's true. But to be more specific, if you just type in Ritz-Carlton credit card on YouTube, you're actually going to be getting a few different results. One from Big Daddy Stan, also Big Daddy Bo, but then even so is going to be Big Dad, or I guess Big Mommy Key. Anyway, a video we actually did about a month ago outlining her Ritz-Carlton credit card and how she finds tremendous value from this card year after year just by holding it. And she's had it for the last 6 years. Well, let's just say that Key is a very generous person. I am open to taking things if it's offered to me. And yes, she did offer me an authorized user on her Ritz-Carlton card, which is highly appreciated. If you guys have a second, go and subscribe to Kiki's Adventures. She's super, super generous. She's actually the reason Joe was able to finally get his Capital Venture X as well. So she's awesome. And so now that I have it in hand, it actually changes my mind about a few things. Now, first and foremost, for those who are unaware, one of the main superpowers of the Chase Ritz-Carlton credit card is that this card actually allows you to have unlimited, that's right, unlimited, so infinity amount of friends, authorized users for free. Now, a lot of people talk about the, Capital One Venture X, and they're like, oh, 4 free authorized users, right? 4, it's really generous. How about infinite? That's right. The Ritz-Carlton card gives you an infinite amount of authorized users. So now I happen to be one of Key's infinite friends. And so why that's super powerful and super important is that each one of those authorized users also get their own priority pass membership that also allow to bring in unlimited guests. So you have that right. You quite literally can have a Ritz-Carlton card holder, issue unlimited infinite amount of authorized users, and then all of those authorized users could also theoretically bring in an infinite amount of guests into priority pass lounges. Now again, some lounges have exceptions, like right, only 10 guests here or 20 guests here, but the theoretical maximum is infinite with this specific credit card, and that's why a lot of people actually really love this credit card. And so why that's even more important to a greater credit card strategy is considering I now have the Ritz-Carlton credit card. That also means I now have a priority pass select membership completely for free. Again, shout out to Key. But that also means that I could bring me and my wife into not only priority pass lounges for as long as Key holds her Ritz-Carlton card open, which I'm pretty sure it's going to be probably for life. So safe to say I'm pretty clear, I'm pretty covered on priority pass. But on top of that, what you also get is you get Chase Sapphire Lounge access. That's right. As they mention here, the growing portfolio of Chase Sapphire Lounges are ravaging the nation, right? Sapphire lounges are starting to be opened up in a few different places all around the US. And yes, you not only have access to Priority Pass with the Ritz-Carlton credit cards, but also this Priority Pass Select membership, since it's issued through the Ritz-Carlton credit card, and yes, this applies to the primary card holder and the authorized user like me, you also gain access to, you guessed it, an unlimited amount of times and an unlimited amount of guests into Chase Sapphire lounges as well. And you can see right here in plain English which Chase customers have complimentary access to the Sapphire lounges by the club. They mention the Chase Sapphire Reserve, the JP Morgan Reserve, and the Ritz-Carlton credit card primary card members and authorized users who have activated their complimentary party pass, which I do have lounge access. And not just one time like any other party passes issued by other cards. No, an unlimited amount of times and an unlimited amount of guests. And that is absolutely insane. And I actually want to give a little bit of a shout out. I did a live stream with Cody Little the other day, and actually a couple people in the comments, namely Mr. Potato right here and also QC Man, they actually gave me something I had no idea about, which is that the Ritz card actually grants access to the Sapphire Lounges, like we just talked about. But they actually mentioned that it excludes the Austin Sapphire Lounging, which mentioning right here, unfortunately is closing March 19th, so just a couple of weeks away. But if you go down a little bit, it actually states who can access that, and it only specifically states Sapphire Reserve and JP Morgan Reserve card members and 2 guests. Usually right here as well, the high language where it states, Ritz as well. And then also QC Man also mentioned that the Maple Leaf Lounge access is only on the CSR, not the Ritz also. So that's the Maple Leaf Lounge. And I went to just double check that. And yes, Chase Sapphire Reserve card members and authorized users can enjoy Air Canada's Maple Leaf Lounge and Air Canada Cafe. And to enter, kindly present your Sapphire Reserve card, so not the Ritz card. And this guy actually mentioned that he did that. He tested out his Ritz-Carlton on that trip going to YYZ, and they demanded the CSR and said our Ritz-Carlton card does not qualify. So big shout out to them. And again, I just like being a little bit crazy. Obviously, I do not recommend getting a million people in these lounges, but I don't know. I just like to see what's the potential of certain things and just the craziness of it all, to be honest. And back to the normal video. Now, why this actually plays a role into my greater credit card strategy is that, I actually have the biggest trip coming up that I've ever planned in my life. We're finally going international, and I booked a really insane airline to actually get it done. Not going to talk about it in this video because I want it a little bit more finalized. It's mostly finalized, but I want it all done, and then I'll talk about it, so knock on wood. But since I actually filmed this before it was fully finalized, now I can actually talk about it, and so I'll cut that into this current day video right now. So I did book the A380 Emirates business class from JFK to Milan. Yes, that is the plane with the actual bar lounge in the back that you've seen in some movies. It's absolutely insane. It's like $11,000 flight for only like 174,000 miles. Absolutely crazy. But the reason I say that is because, well, one, yeah, the Sapphire Lounge is cool, and it's definitely going to be very helpful for a certain portion of the day that I'm at JFK. Also, because it's business class flight, and I actually am going to have access to the Emirates Lounge at JFK. That's right, just like about 3 or 4 hours prior to the flight, these doors should open up, and I'll have access to the very own Emirates Lounge, which to me looks fairly nice. It looks very, very nice. So, yeah, I'm probably just not going to need a platinum card for this whole trip. I mean, why would I? I have Sapphire Lounge and I have Emirates Lounge, at least on the way there. And then I guess we'll have to see on the way back. But what I do want to mention is that this flight that I'm taking requires me to fly out of JFK. And why that's important is that JFK happens to have their own Chase Sapphire Lounge. I figure what better time to test drive the Ritz-Carlton Priority Pass authorized user card than to actually use it at this Chase Sapphire Lounge awaiting my flight to Europe, right? And so I think some of these lounges have different rules, how many people you can bring in, et cetera, et cetera. But the main thing is I can use my Ritz-Carlton Priority Pass to bring me and my wife completely for free. Also, really, having this Ritz-Carlton credit card is actually going to, I think, if I follow through with that, save actually a decent amount of money, considering if I was going to go to the Centurion Lounge, I would have to pay $50 for my wife to actually get into the lounge as well. So not only save like an annual fee, but then also save that $50 fee to get her in, and I get the platinum will have a lot of different credits and whatnot. And I just figured it's pretty interesting to have an option like this to be able to go to some of these lounges without really having to think about it or worry about it too much. And of course, this is a very unique situation, but I know there's a ton of people out there after watching Stan's videos, a few other guys' videos, that the Ritz-Carlton card is one that a lot of people want and a lot of people strive for. And so it's good to know all these little tricks so you can get your family, your wife, whoever, into some of these lounges for a lot cheaper. And it could quite literally be the card to replace a lot of other cards in most people's ecosystem. Like if you're just traveling abroad and all these different things, and maybe you're somebody like Jacob's Points and Profit who really loves to use his Venture X's authorized users in the priority pass to access all those lounges. If you get the Ritz-Carlton card over time and you product change to all those things, it could be a card that you, and if you have a big family, get them all authorized users and you could all travel pretty easily and much more cheaply, I would say, over time. So I think that's actually pretty powerful for anyone striving to get the Ritz-Carlton card. I myself actually would love to get the card in and itself. Might consider getting a boundless just to upgrade it after a year. I'm not so sure. We'll have to think about it. But I also just wanted to showcase the card as well, considering the thumbnail and the title is unboxing. I will say this credit card is very, very nice. It's a little bit different than I thought it was going to look. Like the text is a lot smaller. I guess the lettering is a little bit different than I guess I saw on camera, and it's definitely like fairly hefty. I would definitely put it on the level of, like, if I had to compare it to one of these different credit cards like the Venture X, I would definitely say Venture X is a little sturdier. It's not as metal, I would say, as the Venture X. It's a little less sturdy. I think it's a nice looking card. It's a very nice card, and I'm definitely going to be keeping this, or at least the Priority Pass membership, in my wallet for forever. And again, I just wanted to give a huge appreciation, a huge shout out on video to Kiki's Adventures. Go subscribe. She has amazing content. She's well more versed on all of these different things than basically 99% of us. And I look to her as gospel on a lot of these topics in the credit card world. And if you want to check out the video me and Key did together on the Ritz-Carlton card and how she gets value from it every single year, you can check out the video in the top corner of your screen. So thank you guys as always. I appreciate you guys to no end. Have fun, enjoy, and have a good one. All right. See you guys.